Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be showing you a whole bunch of LEGO items that I have inherited from one of my family members during a family gathering. Now, I will say this right now, a lot of it is going to be like LEGO Star Wars related, because there's a whole bunch of Star Wars sets and builds here. But a lot of it is it is a whole bunch of really nice stuff. And before I get into this, I would like to give huge thanks to my cousin Ben, the one who had given me this stuff. So I would like to give even more thanks to my cousin Ben. Ben, if you're watching this one is for you. And so to start this off, we're actually going to start with the only things here that aren't LEGO related, and that is these things. Now, these appear to be we can start off with this one first. It's like this really neat little Christmas ornament, which is really nice. It's a nice little duck. It's nice. Or I guess maybe not duck. Maybe it's duck. I don't know. It's a bird. It's a bird. I can tell you that much. And it has this thing so you can hang on a tree. That's nice. That's really nice. Do appreciate that. And then the other thing here is this box with Ben written on here. And what this is I assume this is another Christmas ornament because we take this out of here, just some package stuff to keep this thing in the box from getting broken. And what this is I guess it's another ornament because there's a thing for hanging it on a tree. But it does appear to be some kind of little angel made out of that looks really neat. I do like this one. I like the halo up here and the wings. It's really nice. I do like this one. And so with those out of the way, we can go ahead and start with all the Lego stuff. And I have and because I've already gone through this stuff when I was with Ben, I sort of already know what's here. And so I have a particular order of how I'm going to show this. But to start this off, we're going to be showing off the sort of random things random odds and ends sort of pieces. So we can of course go ahead and dump that out real quick. A lot of this is probably going to be spare pieces and things, other small build stuff, that sort of thing. So from what I could tell, from there are parts. There are little chunks and parts here that makes me think that a pod racer thing that Anakin rode around in. It's some version of that. And I haven't really found out which one, but it's obviously one of the more micro scale sort of ones. Hopefully going off of how some of the sections are built, we could probably figure out what pod this what set this was exactly. There's also this small assembly, which is probably not anything. It's just a nice little thing, parts. There's also more than a few of. There's also a handful of these things, which are basically base plate things. Which, first of all, none of these ones here are officially done by LEGO, even though LEGO does officially make this part in black. these are just like things that I assume like were like used as like base plate pieces for standing up your minifigures. But it's nice to get like more of those, I guess. That'd be neat. Also, like odd and yeah, again, a lot of this stuff here is gonna be a lot of like random pieces or spare pieces. There's more than a few like little droid arms, which that's gonna be really nice in case the droid arms like end up breaking or something. That's much appreciated. There's also this small like little assembly, like small little like Technic assembly. Like that's nice. In case I need that extra little bit of Technic. Yeah, there's like a good little bit of like Technic parts in here. I assume some of the Technic stuff here is probably not officially Lego. I would guess because some of the like Technic pieces here aren't that like they don't look like like a lot of the Technic stuff here doesn't look like official stuff going off of how these are done. But still like really nice to get some Technic pieces regardless. That's really nice. Got some nice little flame pieces, that's pretty cool. And also some other like small pieces that are going to be really useful for MOC making. That's much appreciated. Also like some extra like lightsaber hilts in case I need those. And this is an interesting one for me. Look at this like interesting like gun weapon. Like that's neat. And there is like a minifigure hand in here. Yeah, there it is. That it holds nicely to an official minifigure hand. Like the plastic feels honestly on par with some of Lego's stuff. And it's an interesting gun design. Like blaster design. That's neat. I can only assume this is like off-brand Lego, but if it's official, it's most likely not official. It's most like, because I don't see like any Lego logo on it or anything, it's most likely some sort of like off-brand Lego piece, but it does look really nice regardless. And that's kind of it for all these like random bits and stuff, random like pieces and stuff. And of course there's a whole bunch of like these round like clear stud pieces for ammunition for like blasters like this. So that's nice. But yeah, but that's pretty much it with those like small pieces and like other things that was in the box. And so with that, we can go ahead and start with some like builds and stuff. And of course, we're going to start with like the one thing here that isn't really Star Wars thing. This. So, this is a Lego City set that was released in 2020. It's honestly a really nice looking ice cream truck. And it does like include pretty much everything, from the minifigures to the dog to the alternate hair pieces. We'll get alternate hair pieces. Even included the instructions, book 2 and book 1, and it even went as far as having the spare pieces and all the stickers and stuff. A lot of these stickers I ended up putting on myself because some of them were because some of them were still on the sticker sheet. Like there were some like I ended up having to like remove and like replace like this sticker because it wasn't in the correct spot for the sets, even though it's like it's whatever. Even though it's like it's not. It's like whatever. It's like And there's no like real like incorrect way of like stickering your Legos and stuff. I just like end up just replacing it because that's where it said in the instructions. That's all. But yeah, this is like a really nice ice cream truck build. I like the design of it. And it has some really nice like flashy colors. Do you like the color scheme of it? The ice cream thing on the top is nice. And it even has this nice little like sliding door gimmick. I like that's really neat. And there's also the opening door thing to reveal like not only a cash register but various ice cream and some like freezer things for like popsicles which have fallen off for some reason. And something else I would like to mention is that this set was like in like weird chunks and pieces. It wasn't like built. It was like partially built. Some sections were like built. Some stickers were on, but for the most part, it was in pieces, and it was in this bag. Ended up like assembling that, and aside from one single part, this set is like complete and completely like functional. Like the only part that was really missing was like one of like these gray pieces. That's it, and that's like an easy part to replace. It would have gone in there, which I usually just replaced. So that's no big deal. Yeah, but this is like a really nice ice cream truck thing. So yeah, and like even like the minifigures and stuff, this kid has like a skateboard and a alternate hair piece. That's really cool, and a dog. That's some really nice stuff. Really nice stuff. Yeah, some really nice stuff. Now some of the stuff in here also. I also have the instructions for from the box, from that like box of stuff. So from there we can go ahead and move on to all the Star Wars things. Starting off with what seems to be the most recent like Star Wars set here, which is like a 2021 set from like the Mandalorian like a Lego seems to be like from one of the Lego Mandalorian sets, which is these two things. Now, these are kind of interesting to me because these are builds for a sort of this is like a. So what we have here appears to be a tent, like camp setup, and also a ballista of some sort. Like this is like from that like Tusken Raider like Mandalorian set, which is very interesting to me. That not only do they have like this rather interesting tent like build and setup, they also have a full-on ballista. I have no idea why or even how a Tusken Raider has came across and ended up using a ballista of all things. But yeah, this is like a really nice ballista like build. It still has its ammunition, and that's really nice. It can still like load and fire. I'm just not gonna show that here because I might end up losing the parts. But yeah, like really nice. Unfortunately, it didn't come with the like speeder thing that was also included. The speeder like build, the like bike looking speeder build that was also included in the set. Nor did it have any of its minifigures, and believe me when I say that's going to be a running theme with all these Star Wars sets. Because aside from the minifigures from the ice cream truck sets, like none of these like have their minifigures. like, well, which is interesting to me. Yes, of course, of course, of course, yeah, of course, if you're, of course, the minifigures, are the, the, valuable thing for most of these sets are not going to be included. I, these things are, not expected. The fact that I have, the builds like this from the sets that are just complete and looking as good as they are, I am not complaining in the slightest. So what if I don't have any Tusken Raiders for this Tusken Raider camp? It doesn't really bother me because these builds look great. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to more other builds here. So other things is this sort of thing, and this build may look random to you, but this is actually a sort of side build from a Mandalorian battle pack sort of a set. It just ain't got any of the Mandalorian minifigures or any of that, but it still still has some nice terrain pieces, like the cheese slope stuff and the slopes and things. Still very nice. Still very neat. There's also other things that are rather interesting. For example, there is also this. Now this is interesting to me. This is like a 2020 set. A set a Star Wars set from 2020. And this is basically that Obi-Wan versus Anakin battle from Mustafar. It's like a set depicting that, and it's even having these little droids hovering droid build things. It's got a cute little droid here and some sort of contraption here on the other platform here on the other side, and they can slide and they can also rotate. Very nice. There's also this thing that can hinge up and down. It also has the ratcheting joints there, so you can adjust those. But last but not least, this can split apart and hinge out and clip like this. So there's two configurations for this. And that's sort of trying to check to see if that part is cracking or not. I feel like that part might end up cracking, but oh well. Regardless, this is really nice. This is really interesting to get. That's really cool. That's really cool. And moving from opposite sides of the temperature, moving from a set featuring a hot planet, featuring a set representing a hot planet, Mustafar, to a set representing a cold planet, Hoth. So this is some sort of snowspeeder thing, also a set from 2020, but it's one of the more junior kitty simplified kind of sets, because this speeder is built off of this large basic base piece, and considering that's made off of that giant base part, it's really not looking too bad. I honestly think that this still looks fine. Still has the gun things. This cockpit can flip up. You can seat someone in there. Unfortunately, you can't seat someone in the back, but you do have a little windscreen thing, basically depicting that yes, that is supposed to be a rear cockpit section for a second pilots to like sit back there and like man the guns and stuff on the back. It's a neat little like snow speeder kind of build. Pretty cool. And it also comes with this side build. Again, none of this comes with their minifigures. It's a neat little thing with like a satellite dish, a like ice wall, and there's also like a disc shooter sort of thing, which can shoot like pretty far. I unfortunately just can't really fully showcase that because I might end up losing pieces. But I'll give you like a slight example of that. There you go. It shoots really far and it shoots a lot. It shoots pretty far and it does pack a little bit of a punch. So there is that. Something else is this, which this does interest me. This is a nice little like I'm not exactly sure what to call this. It's some sort of like a speeder kind of a vehicle, hover vehicle kind of thing. It can seat at least 2 people. You can probably set a third one here. It's an interesting little build. I do like the colors and stuff. That's really nice. But something else I do like to point out is that this isn't the first time that Ben had gotten me this set in particular because a while back, like a while before like this, he gave me all of this stuff. He ended up giving me this same set, but complete with the in box. And I ended up like opening that and playing with it. So he did end up giving me a second one of this set, which is not a bad thing, but in the slightest, because Lego is like that thing that it is absolutely okay if someone like ends up giving me like duplicates for like any of their sets. Like it is absolutely great because now I don't have to take this apart to use the parts from this build. So I do like very much appreciate that because now I can because for a while I've had like nice ideas for some of the parts in here, but I didn't really want to like take this apart because this was a nice little like heartfelt gift from cousin Ben. But now that he's given me a second one, now I can do as I please with those pieces while keeping this intact. So thank you very much for that, Ben. Very much appreciated. Of course, it doesn't come with the minifigures, but I'm not mad at that at all. Up next, we do have some other interesting stuff. So coming next is a very interesting sort of Kashyyyk themed Lego set, which is this sort of this thing right here, the sort of like walker sort of like set from. It's from one of the It's from like it's like one of those like walker things. This one I think was featured in the. I think this one was like featured in like for some sort of Kashyyyk battle because this set is themed after has a sort of like Kashyyyk theme to it, not only with the color scheme and stuff, but also includes one of these like barrier things which were prominently featured in Kashyyyk in that Star Wars planet. The only thing this is missing is that like gun thing that's supposed to just plug into that port, that like hole, that like connection right there. It's like nice little like barrier thing. obvious, but that's not all. It also includes one of these spider walker droids with all the legs and stuff and eyes and gun and a gun in the front. So that's really cool. So I have like that nice little like droid build. But it also includes this. Now this is like the base, like little like sub build or like side build, like for the base plates for the classic Darth Vader minifigure, because this is one of those sets that included the like 20 years of Lego Star Wars anniversary. The like 20 years of Lego Star Wars from 1999 to 2019. This had the classic Darth Vader one. Again, not including the minifigure, and absolutely, and I'd absolutely get that. Guess they don't. I absolutely get that. I would keep that minifigure as well. Like, it is some like interesting stuff. But hey, it is really cool they get this nice print, though. That's really nice. That's really cool. So yeah, this is like a really nice set. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, aside from the like the minifigures and droids and stuff, it's not really missing anything that much. Like, this build's only like missing like a couple of pieces here and there. It's only missing like 3 that I've seen. Only like the only like major thing is missing is like this sort of like armor piece for this side, which can be easily replaced. So like I have this like nice little build, so that's really nice. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really nice. Now, coming up next is more of these like weird sort of micro like ship kind of builds, and that is like these 2 sort of builds. Now, I did look these builds up, and these 2 do come in the same set. So here we have this sort of we have this sort of like chunky little A-wing. We have what appears to be an A-wing kind of like micro build with a seat there for a minifigure pilot to just sit down, looking very awkward. And then here's whatever this thing is that like Kylo Ren, that like you can just sit down like the included Kylo Ren minifigure into there. And like, I will admit that this one does look really neat. That this ship does look really neat. It even has, and both sets even do like include little flick fire missiles for this one on the side and for this one underneath. So that's really neat, and it also comes with the little side builds. And it comes with the little tiny side builds that this set also includes. And at this point, yeah, it's obvious like no minifigures. Again, not bothered by that in the slightest. There's some craziness there's some other craziness in here. For example, this. This is really cool. I will admit that this is pretty awesome. So what this is Obi-Wan's little like hideout from the movie, and these can of course swing open, and this dome piece can like click upwards to reveal the interior. And yeah, like look at all this. This is really nice because we have and like we have a lot of cool stuff. And back here we have like this little pot that's like warming up the soup. We got a couple of these like Tusken Raider kind of weapons. Up here we have the front door with like this code like key like lock combination sort of thing. That's really nice. We got like a little like stick sort of like practice weapon. We got like that floating uh thing. We got that floating thing. We got droid parts here sitting here on like in the side. You got like this like floating thingy here. I forget what this is called, but I know this is like the thing that Obi-Wan tries to hit with the lightsaber during this scene. And speaking of lightsaber, you have like this stuff that opens to reveal a couple of lightsabers, as well as the place to store the lightsaber blade, which is kind of weird, but I do get. But hey, it's a place to store the lightsaber blade. And over here we have like a nice little like hologram piece for Leia. During that like iconic like Star Wars scene where it's in the Star Wars quote where it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope and all that. So that's really nice to get. And then over here on this side is what I can only assume is blue milk, which is like a funny little like sort of gag thing from that like Star Wars like people have like a point out from the Star Wars movies. So that's like an interesting little like gag that they have included in there. And yeah, and also places to sit minifigures down. It's a really nice build. It's a really nice build. I do like this one. That's really cool. But of course, we're not done there because we have one more build that is. Yeah, we do have one more set here that is easily like the most interesting thing that I think out of this whole like thing. Even though there are a lot of like really cool Lego sets and like Lego builds and stuff, there's just so much good stuff in here. Got like nice builds from various sets, but there is one more here that I must include, and that is this sort of Tatooine. Is this like sort of Tatooine themed set? All the way back from 1999. Look at this. This is insane to me. Like here in my hand, we have some nice vintage Lego Star Wars stuff from 1999. This is a set from the first year of Lego Star Wars. That is crazy. We have like the speeder thing and the sort of like moisture farm, the Tatooine like moisture farm sort of build. It even has the antenna pieces. It has the speeder thing, which also has like this little like gunmetal lightsaber hilt attached to it. Which I don't get why it's here because like it was on there when I found it in here. The set really doesn't include that piece in this color, but it does look really nice. So I do like to keep it on there. does make it look more interesting to me. So I do keep it on there. But yeah, we got like the speeder thing, which looks really nice. These are like nice little like simplified builds. And even though it doesn't include either of the minifigures, because this was an iconic one where it was a small set that included Darth Maul and hold on. Why is his name blanking on me? Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah. This was a set that included Darth Maul on this little speeder and Qui-Gon Jinn. And of course, and despite not including those minifigures, and despite not having those minifigures here, despite not having like those minifigures here, we still have some like pieces from those like highly desirable minifigures. For example, our example here, this is like the hood piece that Darth Maul had in this set. And I can only assume that this is that hood piece because it has the right shaping. It's the right shade of black. And yeah, this is like the exact piece that Darth Maul included. So yeah, like I can only assume that this is from this set. And that is really cool. That is cool. So that's really nice. That's really nice. So not only do I have these two side builds from that classic Star Wars set, like fully like complete, like with no parts broken or missing. I also have the hood piece from the Darth Maul minifigure. That's really cool. That's really cool. This is probably one of my favorite things from this. This and the ice cream truck are probably my favorite. This, the ice cream truck, the ornaments, and this Tatooine sort of house build. And the ballista. There's so much in here that's so good. I'd like to thank you again, Ben. This is like really nice. This is so cool. I give you all my thanks, Ben. This is a really nice collection you have accumulated. Got some really and also like this, the minifigures you likely still have, like between all of these, just going by these sets alone and the minifigures that were included in these sets, like you can tell that my boy Ben has some really valuable minifigures in his collection still. You have accumulated quite a collection here, Ben. And I do like to thank you again for letting me enjoy this the way you've likely have. I do promise to make sure I have as much fun with these builds and sets as I do promise. Oh yeah, and also like instructions and stuff. But like, who really cares about the instructions? The builds themselves are like really nice. That's really cool. And Ben, I do promise that I'll have as much fun as possible with these sets because I'm already having so much fun with these builds. Like it is crazy. And I do thank you very much for this. And with that, I think that'll be it for this sort of Lego Star Wars toy haul video. I guess I'm categorizing this as a toy haul video, but this is really a video dedicated to Ben, because it's the least I could do for you giving me all this really cool stuff. And with that, that'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this toy haul sort of video, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later. Man, this is so cool. That's a lot of nice stuff. Thank you so much, Ben. I enjoyed this.